First of all, welcome to you all. This is the first of our directional practices. And this particular practice is focusing on the laterals, unzipping the sides in. So laterals means the side body in here. But just before we begin, I want to make it very, very clear that the practices that I'm sharing with you are not for beginners. They are for yoga practitioners and teachers who are aware of the alignment within the physical postures of yoga. And as we move through this practice, as I can't see you, you are fully responsible for your own well-being. And these practices are taking us from the physical, more of a physical practice, into the more subtle realms. So rather than me talking a lot about alignment as we move through practice, I'm going to be asking you to sense and feel, as the subtle body is what we're wanting to work with. And these practices, these directional practices, really sit on the edge between the physical and the subtle body. So it's our first introduction to it. So rather than thinking, should I turn this foot out, in, out, me giving you that instruction, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the sense and feel parts of this practice and bringing more awareness into the subtle body. So how do we do that? How do we turn our tuning in from the physical to more of the subtle body? Well, as I guide you through practice, I will be asking you or focusing your attention on sensations, mind stuff, what's happening with the breath, this sense of getting us into this place of witnessing and experiencing ourselves beyond just the physical body, making those shapes. And that really what this whole series of Recharge Your Yoga Practice and Elevate Your Teachings is all about. So the physical body is a great place to start, and that's where we're starting. We're starting in a place that we know. So let's begin with what are the physical attributes to this particular directional set, which is laterals. So laterals in the physical body is their main focus is obviously to stretch the side body, but to also free up the thick fascia in the shoulders and the outer hips. Many of us, as I asked many of you as you joined the group, like how, what's your struggle? And a lot of it is outer hips and shoulders in our postures. And it also helps to free the intercostal muscles, which sit bedded in between the rib cage. And then that really helps us to our respiratory system to move and flow and function more effectively. The second benefits or attributes of lateral movements is that they release the whole shoulder girdle. And for many of us, we're sticky in that upper back and round the sides of the neck. It works the hip joints, the front of the hip joints, but what we're going to focus on is the inner thighs as well. Laterals actually do work into the inner thighs, and you will feel that as we move through practice. Welcome. A few more of you have hopped in, so please just do add a little comment in the comments so that I can see that you're here. That would be wonderful. Okay, so that's the physical attributes. Then when we start to move a little bit, as we said, that this is the crossover, move a little bit into the subtle body. And in the handout that I've given you, the whole, the guide that hopefully you've downloaded and printed off, we're talking about this page here, where it tells you the attributes of the subtle body and how these postures reflect and work with the subtle body. So we're looking at laterals. And so laterals work with the sympathetic nervous system. But what we're more interested in yoga tradition is it works with Brahmana. And Brahmana is, we have Brahmana and we have Langana. And Brahmana is that which activates, that which enlivens, that which brings energy forwards, and it's uplifting energy as well. So it's a brightness. And so that's what Brahmana is. And that's what we're going to be working with. So remember, Okay, we don't want a brown dull practice where we put all different directions of practice together. So it's a little bit like that coloring pot. If I get white and red and mix them, I come up with pink. If I mix all the colors together, I come up with brown. And that's what tends to happen. We end up with a bit of a brown, dull sort of practice. Especially when we've been practicing for a while. So working in this way, I'm hoping is going to recharge your practice and give you an edge to be working with and playing with in your practice. So one more thing to cap off. So this first practice that we're doing is laterals, and I'm going to use the example that is in the guide in the handout. So first of all, when we start to decide what it is that we're going to practice, whether it's morning, evening, or whatever, we need to sit here and tune in to how we're feeling. And we're using the example today that I've got it this morning. I've got myself to practice. I've sat for a moment. I've tuned in to where my mood is, how I slept last night, what I've got for the day, and where's my energy happening. So we're assuming, as this is our example, that it's one, it's a morning practice. Two, I didn't sleep too well last night. I woke up a little bit tired, not exhausted, but a little bit tired. I've got a very busy day ahead, and my energy and mood are just a little bit low. So therefore, I want something that's going to bring some activation. It's going to bring some focus and activate me because I have this busy day ahead. So you can see by when we reflect on how we're feeling more deeply and our energy levels, and we can tune into that subtlety, then we can choose the right practice for ourselves. So our choice this morning is that we're choosing to practice lateral poses. So let's get ready and begin. So find yourself to a comfortable seat. And when you come to this comfortable seat, you can see I'm sitting in quite a wide seat here. I want you to come into Sukhasana, which is where you flex the feet and bring the feet underneath the knees. And so your shins are parallel to the front or the side of your mat. Take a little seat. Let's just take a roll through the shoulders before we check in and begin practice. And then release your hands, palms face uppermost, and taking Chin Mudra, index finger and thumb together. Settle down in your seat and find the alignment in your spine, and allow your eyes to softly close. Just turning that awareness inwards. And just settling down into your sit bones. And so this is the first thing that we do when we come to practice, is to sit and check in with where we are. And let's check in with the physical first of all. Any areas of contraction, weakness, dullness, or any areas of freedom. Just check in with the quality of the sleep you had last night. And then mentally, is your mind scattered or focused? Restless or calm? Distracted or one-pointed? And what's the quality of your breath? And so when we want to prescribe ourselves a practice, first of all, we need to know our starting point, so how we're feeling, how the body is, the physical being, attending to our energetic self as well, and then where we want to be. And be uplifted, a little bit vibrant, some energy to take on the day, to be productive, and to enjoy the day. And we're taking a marking point now of where we are and how we feel. Let's bring the hands together into prayer. This practice is one of devotion and honoring. And so as you draw those thumbs towards your chest and softly bow your head, and take this moment to honor yourself, to be open to new ways, to embracing change and all of the discomfort that comes with that. And making your commitment to sit within that darkness and discomfort, knowing that the light will always come. It's always present, however dark the day. And softly bowing the head to the heart and just gently blinking the eyes open and lifting the chin. Many blessings, everyone. So good to see so many of you here. So let's just breathe in and lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and as you exhale, roll them round. Take a few rolls of the shoulder, as we know that lateral postures start to free up this thick webbing around the shoulders. And then inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up. So I'm not reaching the shoulders up towards the ears, but I'm drawing the arm bone back into the socket and the shoulder blades settle down the back. And then we're just going to slowly reach through one arm and lengthen one side, and then exhale, come back. Let's go the other side. And so the arm that you're reaching, really have a sense of rooting that sit bone down into the earth. And as you gently move from side to side, you can see it's not a big movement. I want you to really tune into each sides of your spine, the erector spinae muscles that run up through the spine, each side. As you inhale, you're going to extend, and as you exhale, you come back to center. You're keeping the chin parallel roughly to the floor so the back of the neck is long. And just take a few more reaches just to tune into that side body, just noticing if it's easier to extend through one side than the other. And take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, release the arms down. Turn the palms up and inhale, come up once more. And now you're just going to lift the right knee and take the left hand and hold over the right knee. And then push the right knee into the left hand, and you'll see how it brings that left shoulder forwards. And then we're going to slowly do a little side bend as you reach over to the left. And this is really helping us to keep those shoulders nice and square as we move into our lateral poses. Keep rooting down the right sit bone, same arm, sit bone down. And then just slightly lift up through the heart as you start to open into that side body. We're going to inhale, come up, and then rotate. So twist, draw the navel in, twist all the way through to the right as you look over the right shoulder. Keep the rotation in the spine, but inhale, look forwards. And breathe. Soft Ujjayi breath. And as you exhale, just drawing the point just below the navel back towards the spine and slightly up. 2 more breaths. Long, smooth and continuous breath. The breath is one thing that drops us really quickly into that subtle body awareness. And then we're going to slowly inhale, come all the way back to center and lift up. Take the right hand and hold the left knee. Left knee pushes into right hand to keep that right shoulder forwards. And then you can take a little gentle side bend. You know, as regular practitioners, we have a tendency to go ultra deep in poses straight away. And so this holding of the knee just allows you to lengthen a little bit rather than overly side bend. Each time you exhale, the lower abdomen moves back. And each time you inhale, you try to lift the spine, the heart a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, spiral navel left. Draw the shoulder blade back. Look over the left shoulder And then inhale, turn the head to look forwards once more. But each exhale, you're trying to draw the navel and rotate to the left, deeper into the twist. And then slowly let's inhale, come all the way back to center. And as you exhale, draw your navel in and twist towards your right thigh. And you're going to lie down over your right thigh. Right hand comes into a little steering wheel here. And then you reach out. And then softly bow the head. And you're really stretching now all the way through that left side body. Have the intention for the left side to drip down towards the earth a little bit more. Breathe into the space underneath the armpit, into the rib cage, the rib basket, the side waist, and all the way down to the outer hip. Okay, now you're just going to trace your fingers round towards the right so you come into a deeper side bend. As you inhale, open up and look underneath your armpit. There's a little push down with the right hand. And then we're going to inhale, sweep all the way back up, both arms to the ceiling. And as you exhale, draw your navel in, rotate over left thigh, start to lie down. Left hand becomes the steering wheel. Right arm reaches out as you soften down. And as you come into this side, just bringing that awareness to maybe one side was a little bit more open than the other. Maybe you feel more congestion in the waist or the ribs or the shoulder, wherever that is for you. But rather than trying to judge and say it's because of this or because of that, simply be with that and be present. Just really dripping the outer right side of the waist and the rib cage down. Let's come to our sweep. You're going to walk the fingers over to the left. Open up into a lateral movement and look underneath the armpit. Now this hand, it's not facing forwards. It's as if I'm trying to rotate the little fingers down towards the floor. And the arm's not out of the socket. It's drawing back into the socket. Root down through the right sit bone. And then inhale, come all the way up. And as you exhale, release the fingertips down to the floor. Walk the fingertips out up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Then pick up the right hand and hold just above the left ear. And walking the fingertips out. So each one of these little warm-up movements you can see are working into the shoulders, into the side body, as they are the target areas within the physical body of lateral movements. And then move your hand to the other side and then just gently put your head back on. Walk your fingers out, sit tall through the crown. Now left ear to left shoulder. Hold around the head, she says. Hold around the head. And walk the right fingertips out a little. Now, as you breathe in, can you lift the heart? It's as if it's being lifted up like a balloon in the chest, a helium balloon, just lifting up through the chest, keeping the spine tall. Move the hand to the other side and slowly pop the head back on top. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the hands down and take a few rotations through the wrist to make sure the wrists are nice and free. Like a shake out. And we're ready. Let's come to all fours. Let's find our way into our all four position. And when you come into your all fours, set your hands up for your down dog so they're slightly turned out. And stacking your shoulders, not directly over the wrists, but an inch behind. Knees are underneath hips and tops of the feet are pushing down into the floor. Lower belly is gently lifting off of the front of your trousers. And again, you lift that heart forward. You're gazing just in front of your fingertips, and we're going to take a little bit of cat and cow, but we're going to slow it right down. I really want you to think about, as you inhale, turn your tailbone up, and then feel that movement ripple all the way through your spine as your heart lifts and you gently look forwards rather than throwing the head back. And as you exhale, squeeze your inner thighs, turn your tailbone down, and then start to come into your cat as you round the spine. Let's take 4. Tailbone lifts. Inhale, ripple through the spine, heart lifts, look forwards. And as you exhale, squeeze the inner thighs, draw the tailbone down and round the spine. 2 more. As you do this, really thinking about keeping length in the spine. And you're really mobilizing here, feeling the movement of each vertebrae as we gently awaken the spine. Remember, it's a morning practice. We didn't sleep very well last night. Mood's a little bit low. We're just gently working into the day. And then slowly inhale, come to a nice flat back. A little bit of balance here. Suck the belly in. Balance starts to give us a little bit of focus. All you're going to do is trace your right arm to the end of the mat and your left toe to the end of the mat, and gently lift right arm, left leg. Keep the belly lifting off the front of the trousers, and as you exhale, return to your all fours. Left hand, right foot. Keep the belly lifted back. Trace the right foot back and the left hand forwards. Gently lift as you inhale and exhale back to your start point. That's 1. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lengthen to the end of the mat. Lift arm and leg. Keep that lower belly lifting off the front of the trousers as you return. Keeping control. Moving in the Vinyasa style with the breath. Pushing the top of the foot down into the floor to help you stay balanced. And then we're going to come back into all fours. Pause there, lower belly lifts. Now we're going to do same arm, same leg. So to help you here, take your left foot and spin it out to the left just a little bit. So all I'm doing is just spinning that foot out a little bit so it gives me a bit of balance. Spin the left foot out. Right leg goes to the end of the mat. Right arm goes above your head. And then you slowly lift and look underneath the right armpit. And then as you exhale, you return to your all fours start point, left side. Right foot spins out. Left arm reaches to the end of the mat, left toe, and really feel roll all the way through your side body and look underneath your armpit. And exhale slowly. The returning is just as important as the movement in. And this is really beautiful to start to feel as you roll through the side body. You can feel how it connects into the front of the hip, into the outer hip, all through the side body, and even feeling a little round through the back body. This is a lovely move Miss Caroline taught me in Pilates. It's just such a beautiful way to open up the side body. Let's just move from side to side, 1 or 2 more rounds. And remember, when you're putting your own personal practice together, you choose these movements that really resonate with you. How does it feel? Not what does it look like, but how does it feel? What's the function of this? How is this affecting my mood, my physical body, my energy? 1 more each side. Extending on inhale and recoiling on exhale. Coming back into your all fours and walk your hands back just a little inch or so forward. So now you can see my hands are quite in front of my shoulders. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, just sit the bottom back onto the heels. Push down into the floor with the hands. Index finger and thumb rooted. We're just feeling that extension through the shoulders, from the armpits to the outer hips. That's what we're looking for. Now inhale, come up to fours and tuck under your toes. Do the same thing with toes tucked under, push back. Stretching the soles of the feet in preparation for Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Inhale, come to fours. Now as you come into your down dog, I want you to think about leading with your inner thighs. You can step your feet back. Just check your hand position, our first dog. Draw the arm bones into the sockets. Create space in between the shoulder blades. Bend the knees. Now take the inner thighs back. Remember, this is a lateral practice. So you need to use your legs to take your pelvis back. So as you start to straighten your legs, think about the inner thighs going to the wall behind you and the upper thighs lifting the pelvis up off of the waist. Now push down into the floor. Now breathe here. I'd normally say take 5 full breaths, but we're going to do just maybe 2 or 3 so that we can get enough of the sequence in. Each time you inhale, filling the capacity of the breath in the chest. And each time you exhale, drawing your navel back to your spine. If you're tight in the hammies, know but to bend the knees and take the upper thighs back. Now inhale, let's come over into plank. Push away from the floor, down through the balls of the feet and reach the heart forwards. And as you exhale, drop your knees to the floor. Shift forwards, turn the toes out. Quadriceps come down, pelvis, navel, soft underbelly as you bow. Keep reaching through the legs as you inhale into your Bhujangasana. And as you exhale, tuck under toes, bottom to heels, and you're back into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come to the balls of the feet, and exhale, drop the knees down to the floor. Sit the bottom back, slide the arms back, and inhale, reach all the way up, coming into a high kneel. With a little bit of balance, you're going to take your left leg and you're going to point your left toes away, and your left heel is roughly in line with your right knee. Left leg, left arm, back of the arm comes to the inner thigh. Breathe in and length through the right side body. And as you exhale, bend the left knee, but push this arm. So again, you keep those shoulders nice and square as you come in. And then inhale, reach through the right arm, come out. Exhale, bend the knee as if you're going to try to touch the heel with the hand, this hand, and inhale, rise. Let's just take 2 more. Again, working through the inner thighs. We know that laterals need some opening in the inner thighs as well. And you push the back of this hand, because there's a tendency for this to happen, whereas if I push the back of this hand into the knee, it keeps me nicely aligned. And then there's action between thigh and arm. 1 more, let's just sink in a little deeper before we inhale, come up. Now this straight leg, turn the toes forwards, still in line with the knee, and you're really working the outer foot here. Take a breath in through this beautiful side body and reach forwards with your left arm, and again come over. So again, there's this tendency to do something like this. I'm right in the pose. So I'm asking you to back off, reach forwards and become more subtle. As you exhale, you lift your navel. Can you drop your tail? When you breathe in, can you find that extension all the way through the right side body? And then inhale, let's slowly come back up, test our balance. Exhale, bring the arms down. Let's go right side. Breathe in, reach up. Toes turn away first of all, heel in line. Inhale, go long through left side. And as you exhale, back of the hand, bend the knee, move in. Inhale, lift. Feel that extension through the left side body, and exhale, keep pushing the back of the arm against the knee. And just checking in with the quality of your breath right now. Sipping in the breath, and as you exhale, smoothly reaching over. Now turn the foot so the outer edge is towards the short side of the mat. Breathe in, go long, and as you exhale, reach forwards with your right arm and over with your left. And again, palms not turned up, arm is in socket, palm is face down, and little fingers are reaching towards the floor. Let's close the eyes. Be present with all that is. You know, if you're getting a little shake, can you release off a bit of the tension? Is your breath free, or is it a bit congested? Have you gone too deep? Can you back off? Be more subtle. And then slowly we're going to reach up as we inhale, come all the way up, keeping our balance. As we exhale, just slowly sit the bottom down. Hands into prayer, just pause for a moment. Where do you feel most sensation? Is it active or dull? Still or moving? Beautiful. Inhale, come into fours. And exhale, tuck under toes. Inner thighs taking you back. You're back into your downward facing dog for 3 or 4 breaths. Arms into socket. Shoulder blades away from each other. Lower ribs funnel in. Knees bend. And you take the tailbone back. And then as you start to extend the legs, the inner thighs spiral to the wall behind you. Upper thighs move back and it lifts the pelvis up off of the waist. So you get that beautiful length and stimulation through the side body. You're either going to step or float the feet towards your hands. I'm going to inhale, come to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. On the hold after exhale, you spring forwards. Knees are soft. Inhale, fingertips, long spine. Keep the chin in and the back of the neck long. And exhale, cascade and fold the spine all the way over the thighs. Take the hands just above the knees. Arms straighten. I want you to bring the spine completely parallel towards the floor and out through the back of the neck. The tendency here is to lift the chin and do this. So keep the chin in and spine nice and long. Sweep the arms back and inhale. Come all the way to standing and take the arms up above the head. Steady into Tadasana. Root down, stable through the feet. Tailbone drops. Inner thighs slightly back. Reach up through the right hand side and feel the right side lengthen. And as you exhale, come back, just as we began in seated. And then inhale, stretch the left arm and come back. Take a nice deep breath in. Now, as you exhale, sweep your hands to the backs of your thighs. Bend your knees slightly. Keep your spine long and slide your hands all the way down through the backs of the legs as you come into forward fold Uttanasana. Then as you inhale, slide the arms at the back of the leg, come to halfway only. And then exhale, fold all the way down deeper into your forward fold. This time you're coming up, slide the hands at the backs of the legs, spine tall. Inhale, come all the way back up. That beautiful length through outer feet, outer hips, side bodies, armpits. Breathe in. Let's take one more of those. Sweep the arms back, slide the hands down the backs of the legs as you forward fold. Inhale, come to halfway. And exhale, fold deeply. One more, come up, inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, arms down to the back of the thighs, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold all the way down. We're going to hold it here. Place the hands to the floor. And as you inhale, step back, it's plank. Push down through the hands, down through the feet, long through the side. And as you exhale, knees to the floor. Quadriceps, pelvis, soft underbelly, bow. Inhale, Bhujangasana. And exhale, bottom to heels, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths. Arms into socket. Lift the heart up into the shoulder blades part. Bend in the knees, take the upper thigh bones back. Feel the quality of your breath, tuning in once more, getting a little bit closer to that settled body. Stepping forwards and stepping up, or inhale, coming to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees. Hold after exhale, hop forwards. Inhale, fingertips, long spine. Exhale, bow deeply. Inhale, keep the spine all the way nice and long. As you inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands into heart. And step the foot that's near to screen back. So you come into a wide leg pose. I'm going to slightly turn the toes in here to begin. We're going to inhale, reach up. Classical Trikonasana. Back of the left hand comes to the left thigh. You reach up and come over, keeping those shoulders nice and square. If you want to reach forwards, as that's helping you, know that that's possible. But you can now see that beautiful length through the side body. Breathe. Each time you exhale, don't forget to draw the lower belly back and slightly up, keeping the tailbone long. Inhale, come all the way back up, palms are face up. Exhale, back of the right hand. Lift up, lengthen through the left side. And bow over. Now, how's your breath? You know, as you're active here, you know, it might find like a little vibration in your breath. Can you back off? Become more subtle. More in tune rather than just trying to make the shape. And then inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, hands to hips. Now I'm going to slightly turn the toes out. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees. We're going to fold all the way forward and place the hands onto the floor. I'm going to lift the heel of the left foot and squat down over the left heel, turning the right toes up. So this could be your Krama here, just opening up through the inner thighs. Or if you have more flexibility, you can drop that bent leg knee and come into prayer. But this isn't for everybody. Remember, we're not forcing, we're just trying to find sensation. So this may be good for you. Come to the quality of the breath once more. Just opening up that inner channel. Nadis, we talk about opening up the nadis, and they are what sit in the subtle body, our energetic body. And then we're going to stay low, come through the center, and come onto the ball of the right foot, or drop the heel down, whatever is working for you. I like the hands down sometimes, especially if my energy is low. This gives me a little bit more security. And then slowly, let's just come all the way back to center. Turn the toes in and exhale, fold into your forward bend. Hands to the outside of the heels. We're going to come up. So to do this, soften the knees. Inhale, spine parallel to the floor. Hands are back to the thighs. Exhale here, lower ribs in. And inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands into prayer. Pause with the breath, close the eyes and check in. What are your energy levels right now? What's the quality of your breath? Is there any particular mood or thought still with you? Or you're really starting to drop into the practice and into the state of yoga. Open the eyes. Now your left foot, turn it all the way out. Think Trikonasana. So heel and heel alignment. Outer hips just slightly rolling forwards. The back hand, the back leg, I want you to turn the palm up. So have a look. The palm is turned up. The shoulder is in external rotation. I'm going to inhale, reach up through the left arm. That's the front arm. I want you to bend the knee, Trikonasana. And now as you bend the knee, let's really start to reach as far as we can towards the end of the mat. Take the hand to the shin, breathe. Draw the lower ribs in, tailbones funneling down to that back heel. Then start to straighten the standing leg. It doesn't have to come to fully straight. You might be a half bent. That's fine. Somewhere where you've got nice support. Now lean back a little bit and look at your back hand. And as you inhale, you're going to half moon the back hand all the way over your head, Trikonasana. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the arm back and draw the navel in and spin that to the ceiling, looking at the hand. Let's take 3 of those. Inhale, coming over, little finger leading. You're looking into the little finger. And as you exhale, drawing the arm back. One more. You could do a few of these in your own practice. Sometimes I just stay with Trikonasana. We're going to hold it there. Now push into your back heel. Lean back a fraction. Really find that whole side body, unzipping that side seam. If it's okay for you to look under your armpit, great. If there's any tension in the neck, look to the floor. Check in with your breath. And then you're going to bend your front leg. And as you do, reach over and come into Parsvakonasana. Again, that tendency to roll round. So push your elbow, left elbow into left knee and really open up. Steady with the breath. Back off if there's too much tension in the breath. And then sweep the upper arm back. And use that upper arm reaching back to bring you all the way out of the pose. Breathe in. And exhale, palms. Anjalayasana. You're going to bring the toes in now. And turn the right foot out. So right foot points to the front of the mat. Think Trikonasana. Spin the back heel out so that that back hip comes round just slightly. Back hand, palm face up. External rotation, so thumb pointing towards the back. Inhale, reach up through your right side. Bend the knee. This is a beautiful way to get into Trikonasana, which is really nice on the back. Keep reaching, then take the hand to the shin. Find your breath, and then you can start to push in to the standing leg and taking your tail towards the back heel. Lean back, so there's a tendency to come forwards. So draw the navel in, lengthen the tailbone and start to lean back. Look at the back hand and inhale, sweep over. Now, as you sweep over, can you bow the upper ribs towards the ceiling? Look, can you really bow? And then exhale, come back. So we're talking function and form here. This is the function, looks fabulous. Yeah? This is the function, looks fabulous. But actually, I want to get into lateral. So when I bow the side body, then I'm working more with the function of the pose rather than the form. Breathe in, come over. Bow the side ribs. And exhale, come back, draw the navel in, spin it to the ceiling. Last one. Hold it there, little fingers point down. And then bend the front leg as you come into Parsvakonasana. Again, can you see how I hook that elbow under the knee? So I can really start to rotate and open. And if you see Christian Macharya doing this, the arm kind of come above the head and reach out through the elbow. And you might get even a little bit more into that lateral side body. sweep the upper arm back, pull with that upper arm, and it's that draws you all the way back up. Pause with the breath, close the eyes. Notice what effect that's had on the physical body, on sensation, on your mind, and on your mood. Open the eyes, look to the front of the mat, turn the foot, and let's just step to the front of the mat. I'm going to turn to face you. I'm just holding it there for a moment as you breathe. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And then we're going to stand into our right foot and lift our left knee. We're coming into Vrukshasana, so toes could be to the floor, foot could be to the calf, never ever on the knee, no. Or bring the foot up into the inner thigh. And if you do this, you've got to push thigh into here, so otherwise you end up something like this, which we don't want. So push the thigh of the standing leg into the heel of the bent leg. Bring the elbows into the side body, and you're welcome to stay here or take support. Or you can inhale, open up, pause there, and then inhale, take the hands behind. And breathe. So your palms are facing the back wall, and we're working into that thick fascia of the shoulders. Slowly bring the hands back down into prayer, and now hook the heel of that left foot over the right thigh. You can see this foot is flexed. I'm keeping it flexed. Now bend the knees, stick your bum out. Really stick your bottom all the way back. Come into a little squat and opening those outer hips. And then you can bow forwards. Take the fingertips to the floor. Now slide that left foot over the right. So your inner thighs are completely crossed, left foot's in front. And if the left foot is in front, you walk the fingertips round to the left. As you bow forward, you can really ease out through that right hip. Just dropping that outer right side down towards the inner thigh. And then slowly walk the hands back to center, framing the front foot. And then the leg, which is behind, which in your case must be the right foot, you step the right foot to the back of the mat, hold it here. And now take your left knee to your left thumb. So you come into pigeon, flex the feet, and then slowly stretch out into your pigeon pose, Raja Kapotasana. The back heel is pushing away, and the inner thigh is spiraling up towards the ceiling and the outer thigh towards that left heel. And then you can come onto forearms, but I want you to push down and away. Now this is active. I don't want to see you like collapse in here. So tuck under the toe and keep this pose super active through the feet. Breathe. Inner thigh spiraling to the ceiling, outer thigh to the floor. Drop the back knee and brings the hands down onto the floor as if they're going to come into like a Bhujangasana. Hands are onto the floor. Lift the navel up, come into plank, back heel. Now the bent knee that was at the front, I want you to place it in the middle of the mat. Roll to the outer right foot and you come into Svastisthasana, side bend. Look underneath the armpit. Now don't collapse here. I want you to really lift the hips high. Think about that bowing that we've been working with. Breathe. Super stable. Remember that alignment here, shoulders just an inch behind the wrist. And then slowly we're going to fold round, step back. You could do a vinyasa, but we're short on time, so we'll push into down dog. Take a breath here. Bend the knees, step or float the feet forwards. Bow Uttanasana. Sweep the arms back, lead with the heart as you come with a flat back as you inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands into prayer, steady for a moment. Stand into your left foot and lift your right foot to take Vrukshasana, tree pose. Elbows in. Take your variation, your Krama. Inhale, open up that external rotation, chest is open, palms face the back wall, and you reach up. Pick your drishti on the floor, gaze. Come into the inner edge of the standing foot. As you exhale, bring the hands to prayer and hook the ankle over the knee. And then come into a little squat. And then slowly fingers to the floor. Slide that right leg all the way over the left leg. Make sure your inner feet are grounded here. Breathe in. And as you exhale, fold down. And then you walk your hands. The right leg is on top, so you walk the fingertips to the right. Just easing that left hip away. And then walk the fingers back to center. Hands flat onto the floor. Your back leg, which should be your left leg, steps to the back of the mat. And your right knee comes to your right thumb. Can you see? So this foot here, I want you to flex it so it's like active. You're pushing the shin into the floor. Back leg, it's easy to roll open. So think about inner thigh rolling to the ceiling. Push out through the heel. Look how my heel is really actively pushing away. Breathe in. Stay active. You can come forwards onto forearms. Dropping the outer left thigh and inner left thigh to the ceiling. Push out through the heel and breathe. Really staying nice and active. Can we push the shin into the mat a little bit more? Lift the belly up off of the front of the trousers and lengthen the tailbone all the way down to that back heel. Hands come underneath shoulders. We're going to come into our Asana. So I'm going to inhale, lift up. Make sure that I'm pushing down through this left hand. Right foot comes to the middle of the mat, turning away. Come to the outer edge of the back leg. And inhale, sweep that right arm above the head. Now, can you bow that right side towards the ceiling a little bit more? Let's take 3 or 4 breaths here. Arm is back into socket. Little fingers pointing towards the floor. You're lifting your hips high. And then slowly exhale. Hands come down. You step back into down dog. Breathe here. I'm going to reach my right leg up behind me and exhale, bring my right knee in between my hands. Sit down onto the right buttock and open up. If you need to have a swap around as you're not looking at the screen, do. And I'm going to take something to sit on, just a little bit of seat here. So now my right foot is tucked in. Left leg is extended. I'm really trying to root this inner left thigh to the floor. Breathe in, reach your, hold on. Straight leg is the left leg. Inhale, breathe, lift the left arm up. Now lift the right knee up. Now hold on to the knee just as we began. Now inhale, reach up. And then slowly just find that side bend there and push the knee into the hand. You see, we'll really push that knee into the hand. That's getting your beautiful alignment all ready for you. Then you can so that's the first Krama, to find the space. Second one is to let go of the knee and walk that left hand forwards. And then I can start extending over the straight leg. Look how active that straight leg is. Now, some of you will go deeper and get the elbow in and palm face up. No competition. It's like, what does it feel like for you? I'm not even going to take you into the full pose because this is so beautiful. And then really see if you can turn the navel up towards the ceiling. Remember we did that rolling motion at the beginning, and look underneath the armpit. To come out, we're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, place that hand down onto the floor. Push down and inhale. Lift the pelvis up and reach above the head. And then exhale, come all the way down to seated. Pause. Observe. And let's go other side. So just swap them over. Now the left foot comes into the groin and the right leg is stretched out. I'm really trying to push this thigh bone down, both thigh bones down here, so I can get this beautiful alignment. And that's what helps from sitting on something, really helps this. Inhale, straight leg arm goes up. Bent knee lifts and I hold on to bent knee. Inhale, bent knee arm straightens up. And then I really push this bent knee into the hand so I can really find that rotation that's required in this Paravita Janushasana. Breathe. Either staying here. This is lots of juiciness in. Look what's happened. Same action through the arm bone still in socket. And then you could just walk that hand forwards, Krama 2. It's like I'm trying to lie my right side all the way down the inner thigh. This may be enough, or some of you might get the elbow to the floor and the palm up by the heel. But again, cautious. Draw the navel in, rotate. You can always do that bending of the elbow. Not necessarily the form, but the function really gets into the laterals. And can you see how my laterals are just really popping up to the ceiling here? Function and form. Reach out through the upper arm. Ground the upper arm and sweep all the way over. Exhale, bring the arm down. And then let's just come into cross leg and simply pause just briefly. For the quality of your breath. I'm just going to bring both of those together. So sit onto your bottom. Take your feet underneath your knees. I'm going to turn my palms forwards, but if you've got any shoulder injuries, you might want to go outwards a little bit. Turn the palms in, feet underneath knees, draw the navel in, lengthen the tail, and inhale, come up. Let's contract the back body. I want you to keep the chin in here, no throwing the head back. Push down through the feet and lift your pelvis as high as your knees. And a little draw of your heels back to your bottom. And then slowly we're going to release down. And we're going to sit on our blanket or bolster or whatever we have and come into a cross-leg position. You're going to sweep both arms up, Urdhva. Bring index finger and thumb together and back of the hands onto the knees. Spine tall up through the crown of the head and close your eyes. And so this is one of the most important parts of practice, where we absorb. Just feel the breath settling. In the crown of the head, the eyes, the face, the shoulders. Feel those inner fuzzing, buzzing pulses, rhythms. It's as if your interior is broken up into thousands and millions of particles. As your breath settles, you can either stay with a regular, smooth and continuous breath, or you can practice a little Viloma Pranayama. Viloma pranayama is when you inhale maybe 50 or 60% of your capacity and pause. And then you inhale the final 50 or 40% before you exhale. Don't force the breath in pranayama. Notice if you're trying to overreach and hold in breath. No. Keep it soft, smooth and continuous. Breathe in and pause. Breathe in, pause, and exhale fully and completely. Breathe in 50% and then breathe in maybe a 30. And then exhale completely. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now just let go of the breath. And just as we began practice, as you settle, you need to observe what that practice has specifically done. So first, what it's specifically done for the physical body. You know, we looked earlier about the tensions and weakness and freedom or dullness. Notice how the physical body feels now. And then the mental body. Where's the mind at? If it was scattered, is it focused? If it was calm, is it restless, distracted, one-pointed? And energetically. We sequence this practice to be a morning practice to awaken us for a busy day, to give us a little bit more energy. Bring your hands together into prayer. And those findings at the beginning of practice and the end of practice, I'd very much like it if you could write those down on the handout. You've got space to do that, or in your journal. And to share those findings with each of us on the Facebook group, because it's a great, we're experiments. That's what we do in yoga. That's what Tantra is, it's experimenting. Take a moment to honor yourself and bow your head. Open your palms, the greetings of this beautiful day. Open your arms as you gaze into your palms and your day, and lift your chin. Namaste. Many blessings, everyone. I hope you could feel that beautiful effects. I love a lateral practice, so I hope you enjoyed it too. Let's hop over onto the Facebook group and post in your findings, how you felt before practice, how you felt afterwards, and let us know. Let's join together and see where we're taking our practice. Many blessings to you. Recharge your yoga practice and elevate your teachings with the 5 directional practices. Thank you very much. Goodbye.